Good evening, welcome, and we appreciate everyone joining us tonight as we celebrate our marching band and the exciting news about a London trip in 2025. My name is Dr. Kristen Weichel, and I have the distinct pleasure of serving as the Unit 5 Superintendent. Unit 5 serves more than 12,500 students, and we are extremely proud of our students in the music and arts program and know that it provides many, many wonderful opportunities for students across the district. As a district, we take great pride in providing the opportunities to our students from elementary through 12th grade. We are one of the unique districts in the area that provides music to all students in the elementary level at least once a week. We have more than 500 students participating in the 5th grade band and orchestra, and we offer a variety of instrumental, choral, and music theory and other electives in our junior highs and high school programs. Unit 5 has been named as one of the nation's best communities by the music education by the Foundation for the National Association of Music Merchants. And none of this would be possible without the many wonderful music educators, and in particular, our incredible marching band staff, which receives and we're so proud of the staff for receiving the 2023 Those Who Excel Award for the Excellence from the State of Illinois. Tonight, I'd like to introduce the band directors, Ryan Budzinski of Normal West and Paul Carter of Normal Community, who will share more about the band and the collaborative model, which includes both schools, which we kicked off approximately 6 years ago. Please help me welcome Ryan and Paul.
My name is Paul Carter. I'm the Director of Bands at Normal Community High School and one of the co-directors of the Normal Marching Band. And the Normal Marching Band truly is the pride of Unit 5, combining the talents of students from both Normal Community and Normal West High School bands. This tremendous group continues the rich traditions of excellence previously established at Normal West and Normal Community High Schools. The group represents our high schools, school district, and community on local, regional, national, and now international levels. The NMB was established in 2018 as a combined effort between our two high schools to represent the best that Unit 5 has to offer. We are proud of the team building, collaborative, and leadership opportunities available to students in this outstanding ensemble. Participating students develop self-discipline as well as musical and marching skills as a part of a high-caliber band, drumline, front ensemble, and color guard. We feel very strongly about the quality of the young adults who participate in our marching programs and are excited to accept this wonderful performance opportunity on their behalf. Since it was established in 2018, the NMB has been named Grand Champion at competitions hosted by the Illinois State Fair, Danville High School, Metamora Township High School, the University of Illinois, and the University of Central Missouri. The group has earned multiple Division I ratings at Bands of America Championships. In 2021, the NMB was awarded the Governor's Grand Champion at the Illinois Marching Band Championships, which is hosted at the University of Illinois, and was selected to perform at the Chicago Thanksgiving Day Parade. In 2022 and 2023, the NMB was named the Class 6A Illinois State Marching Band Champions. The band is the recipient of countless placement awards and caption awards that recognize outstanding musical performances, visual performances, and performance effectiveness across each section of the band. Now, to add to this prestigious resume, the Normal Marching Band is honored to be invited tonight to perform in the 2025 London New Year's Day Parade. Honors such as this one are possible because of the collaboration that takes place between the Normal Community and Normal West High Schools. We are humbled and extremely grateful to accept this invitation on behalf of the students, staff, parents, and community that supports the NMB. We cannot wait to showcase the talents of our students on our first international trip as the Normal Marching Band, the pride of Unit 5.
Good evening, I'm Ryan Budzinski, the Director of Bands at Normal West High School, and I am pleased to welcome and to introduce to the honored guests seated on stage this evening. Founder and Chairman of the London New Year's Day Parade and Festival, Robert C. Bone. Parade patron, former Lord Mayor of Westminster and great-grandson of Sir Winston Churchill, Duncan Sandy. Senior Director of International Participation, William M. Northern II. And Senior Consultant for the Americas, Dean Oblonsky. Dean's working now. We are pleased to share tokens from our community with the London New Year's Day Parade representatives, including small items from the town of Normal, the city of Bloomington, our Unit 5 school district, the Normal Marching Band, Miller Park Zoo, State Farm, a national insurance company headquartered here, Rivian, an electric vehicle manufacturer that produces EVs here, Beer Nuts and Ferrero Rocher chocolates, which are made in Bloomington Normal, the best part of the bag. Illinois State and Illinois Wesleyan universities that are a part of our Twin Cities, and the music shop and Carl's Professional Band Instrument Repair Services, and the tokens from them are in the bags beneath your seats. Additional honored guests from our school and community include Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Krista Michael, Dr. Adam Brozick, Principal of Normal Community High School, Ms. Angie Todran, Principal of Normal West High School, and Kimberly Harris, who's joining us from the Normal Town Council. Please join me in welcoming all of our honored guests. At this time, it is a pleasure and a privilege to introduce Mr. Robert C. Bone, founder and chairman of the London New Year's Day Parade and Festival.
Oh dear. Okay. How are we all? Well, thank you very much for coming out to listen to us. Really appreciate that. And I'm looking forward to listening to you in a while. You're going to play for us, yeah? Excellent, good. Well, I always start these things off with what I call my language check. You seem to be understanding me, so the first bit went okay. It's English I'm speaking to. And the thing is that I don't want anybody coming up to me afterwards. Well, I do. I mean, I want to meet you all, but I don't want you coming up and saying, "Oh, I like your accent." You see, the thing is, I don't have one, but you do. So we cleared that one away straight away. Hearing about all the things you guys have done, it can't be any great surprise to you that you're going to get this invitation tonight to come to our event in London, because your achievement and your reputation is terrific. Yeah, you can applaud yourself. Now it's my job to convince you that what I'm about to say is true. I am the founder and chairman of London's New Year's Day Parade. I used to be the chief executive or executive director of it or something like that, but then I got old, and now I'm simply allowed to be the chairman and the founder. Anyway, I am now going to say that London's New Year's Day Parade is the greatest event in the greatest city in the world. What I often find is that I have to immediately backtrack a little bit on the second part of that claim about the greatest city in the world, because people sometimes take exception and think, well, we live in a pretty good place too. So often what we do is we decide, for the purposes of this evening, that London will be the greatest city in the world, along with, in equal measure, Bloomington and Normal. Okay? So that's where we'll be tonight. But greatest event, I'm not going to brook any argument about that at all. And my job is to convince you that what I'm telling you is true. And I'm going to establish the fact that we are the greatest event with a few facts and figures. Always a good way to set about these things. First of all, London's New Year's Day Parade has an awful lot of performers in it. The answer is, I wonder if anybody's done their research on the website. Probably not. Anyway, we have 8,600 or thereabouts people take part in London's New Year's Day Parade every single year. Sometimes a few more, sometimes a few years. Always 8,500. Those 8,500 performers comprise 76 acts, and the thing we're most proud about is the fact that all of those acts come from, this year, will be coming from a total of 26, always more than 20, this year 26, different countries around the world. We are an enormous, truly international event. I'd like just to put those figures of participants into a little bit of context for you. There is a parade in this country, it's a good one, out on the east coast, northeast coast. They've got the event coming up, I think, in about 3 weeks' time. It's in New York City, of course, and I think it's named after a department store. Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. It's a very good parade. We keep a close eye on it on a regular basis just to make sure that there's nothing for us to learn. There never is. Putting it in perspective, they are a big deal. They are a very good parade. I shouldn't tease. But they only have 4,300 and some people in their event. And by my simple mathematical calculations, which aren't very good, I grant you, but it does mean that with our 8,500 plus, we have twice as many people performing in our event in London as they do in Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in a place that has the temerity to call itself the Big Apple. I understand. So in terms of size of participation, we're up there. But perhaps most important, really, I think, is the number of people who come out onto the streets of the city of Westminster on January the 1st to see the event. Our regular street audience is well over 2/3 of a million people. Now, I know in this country we're so used to big numbers. 2/3 of a million, 670,000 may not sound many to you, and I know that you probably regularly perform in front of many more than that. But what I do have to say is that our 2.2-mile route through the centre of historic London is, our roads are a lot narrower than yours. And therefore, to get, and our paved, here we get into difficulties with language. I was just about to say that our pavements are much narrower. Now you think when I'm talking about pavements, I might well be talking about things you drive cars down, which we call roads. Am I right in this? Yeah, okay. So what you call sidewalks, yes, where people stand on the side, we call pavements. So when you come to London, that's something you do need to remember and bear in mind. But it is, because our roads, pavements, are much narrower than yours, to get 2/3 of a million people onto them in 2.5 miles or 2.2 miles is quite an achievement. It is packed. It is absolutely stuffed with people. And they stay throughout the entire afternoon to see this thing. They start turning up from sort of very early in the morning, even before light often. And we start the parade at 12 midday, and we finish at 3:30. We have to for TV. And those people, they just don't move. They stay there for the entire afternoon, riveted by the spectacular entertainment that they're getting. I'm now going to tell you something, I don't want it to go to your heads, but it's perfectly true. Every year, as event organisers, we take a poll. We have audience research people out on the streets asking our audience what they like, what they don't like in the event, so that we can make little subtle changes, put more of what they like in, take out things they don't like, but better not be anything they don't, and this is absolutely true. Every single year of the parade, so 38 years of it, the same response comes back. The most popular thing, the favourite thing, the number one thing in our event in London every single year are the high school, college and university marching bands from the United States of America that come back. This is perfectly true and amazes me. There's something like cheerleaders come second, but that's all we know. We did, of course, wonder a little bit why. Not that we don't think you're fantastic, but we wonder why it is that the British public loves you so much. And the answer is we don't have anything at all, nothing like you. Nothing with the spectacle and the talent and the ability and the fantastic uniforms, etc., etc. Then we had to start thinking, look, we've got great musicians in the UK. We've got brilliant military bands, brass bands. Why don't we have marching bands? Simple solution. Simple solution. We play proper football. The thing is, you just don't need marching bands to make 2.5 hours of whatever entertaining. One day somebody will be able to explain to me and I'll be able to get pleasure out of watching an American football game. But right now, I just long for half time so that I get something I do like and understand. Moving right along from that, and I'm glad I haven't offended anybody with the whole thing. The last thing to say about the enormity, the greatness, the size of London's New Year's Day Parade is our worldwide TV audience. This year, our live parade coverage, 3.5 hours of it, was beamed into no fewer than 340 million homes worldwide. So when you come, each and every one of you is going to be a TV star somewhere in the world for a nanosecond, but hey, you'll be there. The good bit of it is that in the United States of America, we have a contract, which is quite long running actually, with American Public Television, that's PBS to you. There are 323 PBS channels or stations throughout this great nation, and all bar, I think it was 11 of them, I don't know what's wrong with those 11, broadcast our parade in its entirety live and often repeated. And the reason that we have chosen to be broadcast in the US by PBS is very simple. It's because there are no ad breaks. And that means that we can guarantee to you that your finale performance will be shown in full without a break to go and try and sell margarine or something. So you will be seen, and I think that's very important. Although, of course, we don't want you to be seen on TV by any of you people up there at the back who are going to be making it possible for these people to come. We want you to come and see them as well. So don't stay here and watch them on TV. Come along and support them on the streets of the city of Westminster. But for everybody else, yep, they'll be able to see you on TV on January the 1st, 2025. So have I made it sound like it's something you might want to come to? I would call that relative enthusiasm, not exactly ecstatic enthusiasm. So you're going to have to improve on that a tad for my friend and colleague and our senior patron, Duncan Sands. He's now going to come and do the tough part, which is substantiate why, or explain why London is actually the greatest city, although it's equal tonight with Normal and... he is going to do that, and then he is going to, if the mood takes him, and I know it will, because he's generally pretty equable, but he says, but he does thrive on enthusiasm and applause. So when I ask Duncan to come and speak to you, any second now, just brace yourselves. I want you to make an awful lot of noise, appreciative noise, of welcome for Duncan Sands, Senior Patron of London's ESA Parade. Duncan.
Thank you very much, and it's wonderful to be here this evening. I think we should just give the band a round of applause, even though we haven't heard their full programme from them this evening. What we did hear, I thought, was absolutely stunning and will entertain people on the street. So let's give them another round. As Bob said, my role this evening as a senior patron is to tell you a little bit about London, and let me just start with a show of hands. Who has been to London before? Okay, so not too many of you, which means that you're in for a real treat. So London's obviously been an international city for centuries. It's full of lots of history and culture, and it attracts people from all over the world to come and live and work and play. It's the seat of our monarchy, the seat of our parliament, and also the seat of our government. There's lots of tourist attractions like the London Eye, world-class museums like the Tate Modern and the National Gallery, and also just bucket loads of history. The Tower of London, St Paul's Cathedral, Westminster Abbey, just to name a few. And one of the wonderful things about the London New Year's Day Parade is that the route, the 2.2 mile route, courses through the central part of London, through the historic part of London, past many of the buildings and monuments and everything that make up part of our history. And so, since not many of you have been to London, let me just describe the route for you so that you understand what it is that you'll be passing through. And there's a couple of tips along the way for you as you do it. So it starts on Piccadilly outside London's Ritz Hotel. You go down Piccadilly to Piccadilly Circus, which some of you may have seen pictures of in the ads for London, the tourist ads for London. It's the one with the big billboards, big electronic billboards. And from there you go down Lower Regent Street and onto Pall Mall. And whenever I describe the route, I sort of feel I'm working my way around the London version of Monopoly. Many of the squares on the Monopoly board are streets that you will pass down. So from Pall Mall you go into Trafalgar Square, and this is the first point where it's very key to listen out. So Trafalgar Square is named after the Battle of Trafalgar, which was fought in 1805, and the commander of that battle, Admiral Lord Nelson, is on top of a column, memorialised on top of a column. And at the base of that column, and this is the key part, there are 4 lions. Now there is a myth, and I admit that, you know, myths that doesn't always mean it's going to be true, but it could be true and it could happen. There's a myth that if the bell of Big Ben, which is in Parliament, just a short distance away, if that bell were to chime 13 times, then the lions in Trafalgar Square will come alive. So my advice to you is that as you come into Trafalgar Square, that you listen out very carefully with one ear for the bell of Big Ben. And if you hear it chime, I would recommend that you count those chimes. And if you think that it's 13 and the lions do come alive, I don't have any good advice for you. maybe run for your lives is probably the best that I can do for you. So from Trafalgar Square you go on to Whitehall, which literally is the seat of our government. It's bounded all the way up and down by government departments. But it also has the last remaining part of the old Whitehall Palace, which is where our kings and queens used to live before they moved to Buckingham Palace. And Banqueting House had an event that took place there about 370 years ago that, unbeknownst to the people taking part, and particularly the principal participant, provides advice for people taking part today in the 21st century in London's New Year's Day parade. So on the 30th of January 1649, we chopped off the head of our king, King Charles I. First, not third, who's currently on the throne. And the night before his execution, King Charles was keen to make sure that people didn't think that he was nervous to go to his death. And so he asked for 2 undershirts to be laid out for him so he could wrap up warmly and not shiver in the London cold. So there you have it. You have some regal advice direct from King Charles I. Wrap up warmly before you take part in London's New Year's Day parade. So from there, as you carry on down Whitehall, you pass Downing Street, number 10 Downing Street, the official residence of our Prime Minister. You also pass the Cenotaph, which is our memorial to our national war dead. And then you come into what for me is my favourite part of the parade route, which is it's at the end and it's the finale arena. And the reason I say that is, as Bob was saying about our streets, we don't have the wide avenues like you have in this country. The streets are much narrower. Well, when you put a band like the band before us this evening into that finale arena, playing with the talent that they have, the entertaining quality that they have, that music just bounces off the buildings in such a lovely way, and it's a beautiful sound, it's lovely to watch, and it's a great way for you, the band, to have your last performance on the parade route, having performed many times earlier on the route. And then as you leave the finale arena, you come into Parliament Square, which, as the name suggests, is bounded on one side by Parliament, by Westminster Abbey, and also by our Supreme Court. It's also got a number of statues in there. And I always like to ask participants in the parade that as they come into Parliament Square to look at one statue in particular, which is the statue of my great-grandfather, Winston Churchill. And the reason I do it is because if you look at him, if you look at his face, you may think on a first look that he is looking at you a little bit gruffly. But I always say that you should take a second look. And if you look really carefully, what you see is what I describe as a sort of cheeky schoolboy smile, that he's giving you a thumbs up, telling you what a great job you have done entertaining everyone on the streets of Westminster. So I hope that I have added to what Bob said about the parade and making it something that you'd like to come to. But let me, they always say that a picture tells 1,000 words. So we have a video, and if we can roll the video.
It's time for London's New Year's Day parade. Let's come together, united we will stand. It's now or never, reaching our hands. Let's come together, no matter who you are, 'cause we're all invited and united. Watch out, we're here. Everybody stand clear. Put your hearts in hand, there is no doubt. Put your hearts in hand, we'll knock you out.
This is London. And this is London's New Year's Day Parade, one of the world's great street spectaculars. Live on the streets of Great Britain's capital city. Graced by performers from across the world and the very best marching bands and cheerleaders from the United States.
The trip's been absolutely fantastic. Our students have had a really amazing experience, getting to see all sorts of different things that they normally wouldn't get to see back home, and we're really excited to be here getting ready for the parade route. We always want our students to think worldly, and I think it's so important for them to see other students doing the things that they do, and not just in their small neck of the woods, but on a global scale.
You learn a lot about yourself and what you want out of life when you travel. And getting to see another culture, another point of view, it's invaluable to any student's education.
London's New Year's Day Parade is broadcast and streamed live across the USA.
And you know, we have, I think, 4 of these 25-foot giant helium balloons. And
Do you know what? It's the excitement for me, it's the atmosphere. It's just so buzzing down here.
able to see right over our shoulder. There they are!
There they're
Look at
running in
this!
now.
Running in with all the enthusiasm of New Year's Day.
9,000 participants from 20 different countries.
So they send talent scouts all over the country to find the best of the best and invite them here to London. So we're really honored to be here for this.
Out of the 350,000 cheerleaders who went to summer camp, we are the top 10%. What was your favorite thing? London Eye and the fish and chips.
And throughout the New Year week, there's a superb series of concerts in some of London's greatest and most iconic music venues, featuring the most talented young musicians from the USA and Great Britain. It's the experience of a lifetime.
Very excited, very excited. Mostly nervous.
Yeah. I know they're excited to go to Oxford and Windsor one of our days.
Our students and I were having such a good time. We're here at Windsor this afternoon. We're getting ready to go into the castle. And for a lot of my students, it's their very first time. And it's so exciting.
Those lucky enough to be invited to London's New Year's Day Parade can wish many millions a happy new year and give the world a wave. London's New Year's Day Parade, a cherished turn-of-year tradition the world over. Become a London legend. It's awesome.
So I need to ask the question, does it still sound like something that you'd like to be invited to? The founders and patrons of London's New Year's Day Parade and Festival, the greatest event in the greatest city in the world, take enormous pleasure in extending an invitation to Normal Marching Band Illinois, USA, to travel to London to star in the 2024-25 edition of this exclusive and prestigious world-famous event. Congratulations.
I'm making the assumption, therefore, that you've accepted the invitation. We like it when you do, because it's quite a long way to come if you there are one or two little things that we do need to do before we shut up, and we'll say thank goodness for that, I expect. Anyway. Duncan here represents a very important part of the patronage of London's New Year's Day Parade, a good half of it, the Mayoralties of London, Lord Mayor of Westminster and the London Mayors Association. But there is another half, and that is the Lord Lieutenancy of Greater London. The Lord Lieutenancy of Greater London is an office that exists headed up by the Lord Lieutenant himself, Sir Kenneth and Lisa at present, and they represent the monarchy at events and other functions in London where the monarch himself cannot be present. And neither is Sir Kenneth present this evening, Lord Lieutenant, as you can see. But he does insist that I make reference to the fact that he's a very important part of this parade. And so that you don't forget him, he sent us along with a gift to give to, well, to the band, I suppose, but seeing as you're in two locations, it's going to be very difficult to know where you keep it, but there we go. Well, you can't break them. But anyway, he sends us this year with plates from Buckingham Palace, appropriately, that celebrate or commemorate the coronation of Their Majesties King Charles III and Queen Camilla on the 6th of May this year. So, Duncan, would you like to present that to yeah, sure. Slightly frivolously, I suppose. I don't know. Do we happen to know if these two gentlemen, your band directors, if they drink coffee? Do they? Probably in copious quantities, yes? Just guessing. So we would like to give each of them a mug from which to drink their coffee. And there's a dual purpose to this, actually. It's so that it sits on their desk and they can never forget that they're committed to bringing you to London. But this is what they look like. Sort of a side thing on these coffee mugs. We used, in years gone by, to bring teacups because we thought that was terribly appropriate. But then we thought the connection between the British royal family, the United States of America, and tea. So, anyway, are you okay standing there? Because I'm going to go on for a little bit longer, but never mind. We have a pretty important thing to do now. We didn't talk much, in fact I don't think we talked at all, about what the weather's going to be like in London on January the 1st, 2025. Well, obviously we don't know, but if past has got anything to go by, then it's going to be about 45 degrees Fahrenheit, something like that, which from your point of view is positively tropical. Yeah? So I'm not too worried about that. But what I do worry about is whether or not it's going to rain, because we do get a bit of rain from time to time in London. And we don't want it to rain on our parade, which will also be your parade. I have to say that in 2017, actually this is what tipped the balance for us, in 2017 it did rain rather a lot. In fact, it was a deluge. It was pretty awful. However, it didn't spoil the parade in any way, shape or form, because actually all the performers got a great sort of sense of purpose out of the whole thing, and valiantly performed right through the conditions. And the crowd appreciated the fact they were doing that, and they all stayed. So it didn't really make a sausage of difference. But I don't like getting wet. I don't think anybody does. So we decided that we would find a way, if we possibly could, to ensure that it would never rain again, at least between 12 o'clock and 3:30 in the afternoon on January the 1st. And so we asked everybody, what can we do to do this and make sure it doesn't rain? Nobody had anything to contribute to this until somebody who I initially thought was a daft, really, to be honest with you, said, I've got the answer, I've got the solution. It is simple, it is an umbrella. So, of course, my immediate reaction, you giggled at it, I did too, because an umbrella's useful. When it is raining, keep you a little bit dry. However, to actually stop it raining, didn't see it. Until the person who I initially thought was probably not too bright actually said, have you not heard the old adage, you keep an umbrella with you all the time, and it will not rain. The minute you leave your umbrella at home behind, you can be pretty sure it's going to rain. You heard that? Yeah. Well, I thought it was ridiculous, actually, but in for a penny, in for a pound, as they say, cent and a dollar, whatever your currency is, and we thought we'd give it a go. And so, every single group that we have invited since 2017, we have presented the official, just one, LNYDP, London New Year's Day Parade umbrella. And it works. Because, I have to say, we have had no rain whatsoever on January the 1st in the centre of London on our parade between 12 o'clock and 3:30 in the afternoon since 2017. So good. So now what we need is somebody who is going to come to London from this group to be the custodian of the umbrella for Normal. Now, this has to be the most responsible, reliable, trustworthy person who's coming. I don't know you, so I can't select you. But who's it going to be? Look at all your colleagues in band. Monish? Good. We need to be absolutely certain that you are happy to accept the umbrella. There's been no coercion? No? You're not looking all that confident, I have to tell you, but well, sort of, yeah. I need you actually to declare in front of everybody that you are very happy indeed to be the custodian of this umbrella. Would you please just say that?
I am very happy indeed to be the custodian.
Here's the thing, Manish, sorry about this, but you heard him say he's very happy. Good. So this is what happens now. From this day forward, it sounds like we're getting married, but from this point on, until 3:30 in the afternoon, January the 1st, 2025, I reckon that's about just a fraction under 14 months, yeah? This umbrella, Manish, must never leave your person. Must never leave your body under any circumstances. So I'm quite serious about this. So when you're in school, when you're playing the band, when you're at home, when you're in bed, when you're in the shower, wherever you are, the umbrella stays with you, okay? You got it? Good. So, here's where you all come in. I know he's totally trustworthy, utterly reliable, and we can be certain that he's not going to put that umbrella down for 1 second. I think I'll put it around your wrist if I were you now, just in case it slips. Good. You make it look like a weapon there. You heard of social media? Terrible thing, isn't it? Anyway, because we're a major international event, we have to be on it. It's quite fun, actually. We are hold the lnydp.com or at lnydp on all these various platforms, whether it be X or Facebook or Instagram, TikTok, I don't know. Anyway, this is where you come. As I said, we know we can trust him, we know he's going to be fine with the umbrella evening, but we'll let it go. But, just in case, if, in the incredibly unlikely occurrence that you see him without the umbrella, please whip out your cell phone, take a photograph, and post it on Instagram, because then we'll know who to blame should it rain. We can't give him much for what he's going to do, but you're the first person from Normal to have the London New Year's Day Parade pin, Manish, and you certainly deserve it for the efforts you're going to be putting in with that. Quite enough, you might well say. Thank you very, very much indeed for giving us a significant amount of applause, which is very generous of you, considering what we've put you through. But thank you very much indeed for accepting our invitation. We're the lucky ones to have you and your talents and your abilities coming to London in 14 months' time to entertain the world. And I can promise you that what you're going to enjoy in London will be a life-changing experience in a good way, and something that will stay with you literally for the rest of your lives. And we are deeply appreciative that you are going to become Londoners for a week and join us in London for the greatest event in the greatest city in the world in 2025. Thank you very much indeed.
At this time, we'd like to invite Kimberly Harris, a member of the Town of Normal Council, forward to say some remarks on behalf of the Town of Normal, and then we'll get to the band's final performance of the evening.
Wow, this is awesome and so amazing. First of all, I hate that you put me behind these wonderful gentlemen who have such great oratorical skills. So I'm going to do my best to keep you entertained as well. No, but it is my pleasure to congratulate you on behalf of the Town of Normal and our Mayor, Chris Coos. This is such a wonderful opportunity, and it is an honor to stand before you on such an occasion while you accept this wonderful invitation. This is a Midwest diamond in the rough called Normal, and we hope that all of you go and showcase and show on this world stage in London at the London New Year's Day Parade what this place is about. We are excited with you and for you, and we hope that you show your greatness as well as your talent and your hospitality and such graciousness. We thank the delegation for selecting our Normal Marching Band for this occasion. May you forever remember this normal place. So, congratulations and best wishes to all of you, and we know you will do us proud.